Well, hello everyone, welcome. We're live again. It's Tuesday once again. It's Tuesday Tips Live here in the Digital DJ Tips studio with me, Phil Morse. Welcome wherever you are in the world watching this. We've got lots and lots of people from snowy United Kingdom here today. We've got, in fact, everyone from the UK is telling us it's cold there. So hello to you, GM, and hello to you, Martin. And it's snow covered but sunny in Antwerp, says DJLV2D. Hi to Roger in Estonia. Hi to Avinav. So this is Tuesday Tips Live from Digital DJ Tips. We are the online DJ school that leads the world in this stuff. We're also the people behind this book. So if you want to learn to DJ, you're in the right place. You can have a free copy of that book, by the way, by joining the website. So if you're new to all this, go there, join the website, get a free copy of the book. We are also the people who are behind the Digital DJ Tips .com website, which I'm sure you know. So if you want DJ tips, DJ news, DJ advice, DJ reviews and features and so on, this is where to find them, digitaldjtips.com. But right here, right now, it's all about Tuesday Tips Live. Every Tuesday we go live at this time with a free piece of training, something to help you become a better DJ or a better DJ producer. And today we're talking all about mixtapes. Now, funnily enough, this came out of last week. We did a chat last week about some amazing services which will help you to make your, not only your DJ mixes, but also your productions sound great. Some kind of what they're called online mastering services. But that led to a big discussion about how to make mixtapes sound good. So we made an article, and here it is. How to master your DJ mixes and why you need to do it. This is how to take a DJ mix that you've made and make it sound awesome. And this article went live just literally a few minutes ago. And it talks all about mastering, it talks all about why you need to do it for DJ mixes and gives you lots of tips and advice on how to do this. And it's all based on that chat we had last week on one of these lives. So it just goes to show that, you know, when something resonates on these live broadcasts, it does kind of help us to inform what we do in teaching you guys. But, you know, moving on from that, people were like, yeah, but do I really need to make mixtapes? So we thought we'd step back, and this week we thought we'd give you 12 reasons, count them, why making mixtapes is a good idea. So I'm going to start by asking you one simple question. When did you last make a mix? Go on, stick it in the comments if you're feeling bold. When did you last do a mix? When did you last finish a DJ mix, a mixtape, a recording of you DJing that you can say, yep, there it is. Go and have a listen to it. When did you last do it? For most people, this is going to be a long time ago, and it's not good enough. You need to do them more regularly than that, and we're going to talk about why in a minute. So if you were kind of like looking at the floor and shuffling your feet then thinking, yeah, you're probably right, then that's going to be especially useful for you, what's coming up now. But if you are actually getting a bit indignant and saying, I don't care, I don't need to do mixtapes, then definitely watch on, because you might learn something here and I might change your mind. That's what I want to do. I want to change your mind. I want to make a dent in the universe today. Right, let's do this. Let's go over to the workbench. So, 12 reasons why you should make mixtapes. Number one, to show off your DJing. I don't need to say any more, do I? To show off your DJing. Number two, to help you get bookings. They don't give you a passport to all the DJ bookings you ever want. They never did. DJs think they do, but they don't. But guess what? You can't drive a car without a driving license. You can't get a DJ booking without a mixtape or two under your belt. It just doesn't happen, people. Make a mix because it will help you to get bookings. Number three, it motivates you to practice. Now, the classic way of motivating yourself to practice is to get DJ gigs. Nothing makes you practice more than knowing you've got a gig next week and you've got no music ready, you're not sure who's going to be there, you don't know... you don't know like who's going to be paying you, you don't know anything. Right, so suddenly you've got this big long list of things. Find out who's going to pay me, find out who's going to be there when I get there, find out what music I'm going to play, better check out what music other DJs play there, what kind of mixing style are they into, better check that out too. Haven't got enough music, I need to go and buy some more music. You're going to practice. You've got this whole long list of things you've got to do before that gig. The fear of messing up at a DJ gig is a great way of motivating you to practice. But guess what? If you haven't got gigs, and most of us haven't at the moment, and you don't want to do a live stream, they're not for everyone, making a mixtape is a great way of motivating yourself. Tell the world, this time next week I'm going to have a mixtape for you. And then guess what? You're going to look pretty stupid if you don't do it, right? So just to motivate you to practice, mixtapes are a great thing. And especially if you commit to a series. I'm going to do one like a month. I'm going to do one every quarter. I'm going to do spring, summer, autumn, winter mixtapes. You know, that can be enough. But they motivate you. They give you kind of punctuation in your DJing year that you have to get the words in between, right? So that's the first three. Let's carry on now and do number 4. Halfway through, we'll stop and have a chat about all of this. So number 4, they give you an archive of the music you love. If you do mixes regularly, you're going to have a wonderful archive of the music that you love sat there waiting for you to listen back to in years to come. In fact, let's just go back to the chat area here, because I want to head over to the internet now and just show you what I mean about giving you an archive of things you love. So over the last few months, over the last year or so, I've been doing DJ mixes once a fortnight, and they're all on my Mixcloud channel. Here they are. So this is nice because it's going to give me, mixtapes. I do listen to these. I listen to these when I go out for a run. I listen to these in the car. You know, it's the music I love. But look, I also found some old DJ mixes. So here I've got a Dark and Dirty House mix from November 2003. Here I've got other stuff from the 1990s. And I've got loads more. I've discovered loads more of these, and I'm going to digitize them and get them back up here. You know, this is music I was listening to years ago, decades ago, and I've got a record of it now thanks to Mixcloud and this, you know, the fact I did these mixes in the first place. You can do the same thing. So, you know, they're a great way of documenting your journey through music, getting them recorded and getting them uploaded somewhere or put somewhere safe. So that's number 4, to archive the music you love. Number 5, as I just said, to listen to yourself. You know, it's great to have. I have a rule. I will not put stuff on mixtapes that I don't love. So, you know, sod everyone else. These are my mixtapes. So that gives me music that I can listen to myself. And it's an awesome thing to be able to put a mix on and be impressed by it, especially if you've forgotten, you know, mixing it like I have with some of those old ones. And number 6, the first half of our 12 reasons why you should make mixtapes. Number 6, to impress potential lovers. Yes, we've all done it. Hands up if you made mixtapes at school just to try and impress someone who you wanted to get off with. It's a classic, isn't it? So look, even just to give to someone who you want to impress, you know, for your own reasons, mixtapes are a great thing to have. Now, we've actually got 6 more reasons, but before we go any further on this, I want to hear what you're saying about mixtapes. I want to know how long it is since you last recorded them, and I want to get to the bottom of whether you agree with some of this stuff. So let's go through some of your comments now, and we'll go back to the others in a second. Before we do though, just a hello to lots and lots of our regulars here. It's just good to see you every week. Papa D, DJ Black Eagle, Charlie Casanova, Paul, Mark Smith, Colin Kirby, Aaron over there in Virginia, Kevin, Martin, George, Bas Van Esch. Focus of the camera is on the mic instead of you. You're right, it is on the mic instead of me. I can do that. Look at this. I've got the power. Let's get my beard looking all scraggly. There we go. Thank you for that. So Sax says, I'm not going to lie. It's been 10 months since my last mixtape. I have a draft, but I need to publish it. Well, look, you're among friends here. It's okay to admit this stuff. Buxy's just watching in Chicago, not admitting anything. GM Paolo says 3 weeks ago, but Roger says 3 years ago. This is when you last recorded your mixtapes. Dwayne got one done in November, not too bad. Alan says on Friday, and Charlie says last night. George says Sunday. So this is awesome. Adam, they're just fun. It's part of the whole DJing thing. And 1993 says someone over on Facebook. Well, why don't you do one now? Or leave it 2 years and you could do a 30-year anniversary one. Hey, by the way, the KLF have re-released Chill Out. The KLF did an album in 1990, I think, called Chill Out. And they've just re-released it, which is pretty cool. It kind of invented the genre of chill out music. However, I do recommend you try and get the original because it's got all the old samples on it that they couldn't clear for the re-release. Anyway, talking about 30-year anniversaries. So right, let's have some more mixtape comments. DJ Snake Eyes says there's a Valentine's DJ mixtape on the way. Alan is loving Mixcloud. So Sean says a good idea is to record yourself and be honest with yourself. You see, a cool thing here is a lot of the things you guys and girls are saying are things that are going to come up in the other half of what we're talking about here, which shows that we're on the right track, I guess. I started doing them weekly just 3 weeks ago, and I definitely need to read that article, says Warden. So, well, you know where the article is. In fact, I've done better than that. I've given you a short code, djtips.co/fixmix. djtips.co/fixmix. If you want to fix your mix, go there, and that's where the article is that we've just written all about this. So my modern mixtapes, says ZemJZ, are the mixes I post on Mixcloud. Yeah, by mixtape we mean mixes that you make. Here's mixes on Mixcloud. I class these as mixtapes. So yeah, I'm with you there totally. Mixtapes were once the staple of the industry, says the Ruckus. They were indeed. I mean, they have kind of fallen from grace a bit. It's a little known fact, but Steve Canuetto, my business partner here at Digital DJ Tips, mixed a lot of the million-selling Ministry of Sound CDs. You remember mixed CDs from the 1990s and early 2000s? Steve mixed them all. So we've got a bit of expertise here in Digital DJ Tips about how to do this right. So there's people asking questions that are not related to this. Come and ask on Thursday, people. I'll get back to you on those then. It's nearly 6 months, says David, since I made a mix. I used to make them every month or so. Well, you know, maybe this is going to give you a kick up the bum. Regis says, how long should a mixtape last? I like to do them about an hour. If they go over an hour, that's fine, but I like to go for about an hour just to give you, you know, the length that I like to do. By the way, wherever you're watching this today, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, thank you for watching, and especially if you're watching over on our Mixcloud channel, because Mixcloud is where we, you know, where we are talking about as far as mixtapes goes now, isn't it? So hello to Old School Gangster, who's over there on Mixcloud at the moment. Hello to you. And yeah, Mixcloud is somewhere that we certainly recommend for doing this kind of thing. And so Mixmaster G says a mixtape should be 45 minutes. There's another view on that. The most used length of the single side of a compact cassette from which they get their name. Yeah, but my mixes used to turn over and you played the second half on side B, Mixmaster G. So Sherwin missed the first 4 minutes. We'll let you off, Sherwin. And of course, mixtapes used to be on CDs as well. We used to teach how to put the markers on CDs so that the track title changed on your car stereo when you were listening to them. But that is still, you know, it's still very rare that you find CDs nowadays. Hence the fact that we're updating our mixtape training. I think I told you about this last week. We're currently in the final few weeks of getting our Pro Mixtape Formula training up to date and ready to go on sale again, completely updated for 2021 with the modern way of doing this stuff, modern software and Mixcloud and social media and all that stuff. Because when we recorded it all those years ago, it was all about CDs. Anyway, again, I digress. I've made some great money with my mixtapes. Yeah, people used to sell mixtapes, didn't they? It's those days I think are probably gone now, but there you go. That used to happen for sure. Right. Let's now move on and do our final 6 reasons. We've already done 6 reasons, so if you joined us late, I'll give you a recap. And by the way, if you're enjoying this, you know what to do. Same as ever, subscribe. Please click the share button, depending on what platform you're on. It really does help us to get this far and wide if you do that stuff. Let's have a recap. And if you're watching the replay or you just joined us, then you can watch the replay. And you do that by just waiting until this is over and then watch the replay and you'll get the first 6. But I'll give you a recap now anyway. So the first 6 were: number 1, to show off your DJing; number 2, to help you get bookings; number 3, to motivate you to practice; number 4, to give you an archive of the music you love; number 5, to listen to yourself; and number 6, to impress a potential lover. Whoa. Let's move on. Number 7, to experiment musically. You might not get the chance to just play the music that you're feeling right here, right now, in any other context. You know, gigs, you've got to kind of play what the people want. Even live streams, you might be worried that you'll lose your only 5 listeners or whatever. So you don't feel you can do what you want. With your mixtapes, you can do what you want. In fact, on those mixtapes over there that I was showing you from my personal Mixcloud, there was one that was called Down and Dirty, and it's this one here. Dark and Dirty, actually. Dark and Dirty Techno and House Mix. Now, this was recorded nearly 22 years ago. No, actually it wasn't. 18 years ago. This wasn't the style that I DJ'd at that time at all. Nowhere near. It was music that had been knocking around the back of my record box and I loved. But I hadn't had a chance to play in the club I was playing because it wasn't the style that club was all about. So I recorded it just for my own, my own purposes. And I've kept it all these years, and listening back to it now, I love it. I think it's a great mix. I really enjoy it. It's a great example of doing something that you don't think is going to be accepted by your crowd. So you just do it for yourself and you record it on a mixtape. So it lets you experiment musically. Number 8, so you can do complex mixing. On mixtapes, you can practice stuff and you can get it just right, and you can keep going back if you get it wrong. So you can try out tricks that you're too scared to do live at the moment. Get them right, get them on a mixtape, listen back to them and check they sound all right, and then you're moving slowly towards doing those things in your live gigs. So, you know, there's 2 artistic ones there, to experiment musically and to try more complex mixing techniques. Number 9, an often forgotten one, that's 10, no it's not, it's 9, is to have something to play at parties. If you've done some great mixes, you, your friends, people you know can play them when you have a party. And that means that you've always got great music to play. You don't end up on YouTube or, with, God forbid, with the radio on, right? So when there's no one can DJ, it's something you can play at parties. Number 10, background music for venues. So this can be for venues you already play at, or for venues you want to play at. You can give them mixes and say, hey, I've got some music for you for the daytime. You know, it's a cafe bar or whatever. I've got music for you for the daytime when you haven't got your DJs on. There you go. And you've thought about it. You've got it in the right style for them and stuff. You might just get a call. Hey, we love that mix you gave us. Do you want to come and do some DJing? Or it might keep your gig safe at a venue you play at when there's other DJs kicking at the door, but you're going the extra mile. They don't know that you're also providing the daytime music, and therefore you're valuable to that club owner or that venue owner. So it's an extra piece of added value you can give to people. Number 11, and this is a really big one, to legitimize your DJing. You know, it's like a business card for DJs. If someone says, hey, you're a DJ, are you? And you say, yeah, I do a bit of DJing. Have you got a mixtape? Can I hear you anywhere? And you go like, no. Or, you know, I did a mix 3 years ago, but I'm not very happy with it anymore. You know, don't look at your feet and mumble. Look them in the eye and say, yep, there's my card. Type in that short code. There's 20 mixes there I've done, including one I did just last Saturday. You're going to love it. I know you are. They're a way of legitimizing yourself as a DJ. DJing is ephemeral. DJ, they say you're only as good as your last mix, right, as a DJ. And when the music stops, you're not DJing, and therefore you're just a person, right? There's nothing to prove you're a DJ. Well, a mixtape can prove you're a DJ 24/7 when you're not DJing. They're like a business card, as I say. So number 11, to legitimize your DJing. And number 12, and I was going to stop here, but I've just thought of another one. There's two 10s there and a 2 there. I'm going to have to practice this, aren't I? Number 12, because someone said it on the live chat, they're fun. Mixtapes are fun. They're fun to plan. They're fun to record sometimes. They're fun to edit and master, and they're fun to get out there. And you feel really proud when you get your artwork and your title and your description and you put it live. It's a really fun thing to do. So if I haven't convinced you by any of the others, hopefully number 12, number 13 is coming. Number 12, I just said, the end of the full list I wanted to talk to you about, just because they're fun. So what's number 13? Well, looking down at this little baby here, this, oh look, honey, I shrunk the controller. This is the Reloop Buddy controller for Algorithm's DJ software. And this is quite a capable little controller. But hey, it's a dinky little controller, isn't it, right? If you turned up at a gig playing on this, you might feel a little bit silly. Even if you did a live stream, you might just feel like, oh, I don't look like a real DJ. You are, and it's a silly thing to feel, but it's how we feel, and we feel it because the crowd feel it sometimes. They want to see you playing on big, manly, and I use the phrase because that's what the feeling is, isn't it? Big gear like a real... They want to see that, and it's all rubbish, isn't it? You can DJ on anything. You don't have to DJ on macho gear. You can DJ on anything you want. I know DJs who have produced, like we're talking big name DJs here, not like little DJs, who've produced full radio shows on these. Sit on a plane, bang a radio show out on one of these and record it, and it goes out on Sirius XM, whatever. You don't need big gear to DJ, but everyone seems to think you do, and it's all part of the look. Well, a mixtape, it's only here. It's only in your ears. So no one knows what you recorded it on. You could have recorded it on one of these and it wouldn't make a blind bit of difference, because the mixtape is going to be judged on what the mixtape sounds like. And that is really democratizing if you are using a budget controller, you're using something that didn't cost you very much, you're enjoying what you're doing on it, and you want to get something out there and compete with the big boys, because guess what? Certainly from the point of view of someone listening to your mix, you can. if you put a mixtape out there. Doesn't matter what you recorded it on, no one knows and no one will care. So there we go, there's our 13 in the end. You got a bonus one. Reasons why making mixtapes is a good thing. Now, if this has inspired you a bit, djtips.co/fixmix is where you will find the article I was talking to you about, which is going to help you to, once you've made a mix, make it sound really awesome, because we've put all the stuff we were chatting about last week into an article to make it easy to reference. But now, just to end off for the last few minutes here on Tuesday Tips Live, as always, let's head back to here and have a chat with you guys and girls about what you think on this. So let's start with DJ Feta, who says, Phil ain't lying. So there we go. I'm just going to get to a point where I can, they're coming in so quickly it keeps scrolling, and there's a way of stopping that, so I'm doing that now. I did CDs with mixes years ago, and I wrote my number on the CD, and that's how I got gigs, says Arek. So there we go, truth. Dat Boy says 1999 was the last time I did a mix. Oh, 1999 is more than 20 years ago. It's amazing you still have these around. I've got a very sad looking bag full of old CDs and tapes that got damaged in a flood, and the CDs are pretty unrippable, unfortunately. That was one of the ones I managed to rip, but the tapes, I'm hoping, the tape cassettes, I'm hoping I can kind of make them to sound, I can get the music off them anyway, even if the quality is no good anymore. So that's going to be one of my ongoing tasks. So Lee says, I'm glad I joined Mixcloud Live, and we're actually live on Mixcloud at the moment. There we go. There's us live on Mixcloud right now. I'm glad I joined Mixcloud Live. There I am. See? Mixcloud Live. Because I'm using it for talking at the moment. Hello, a brother named Sherm over there, and Daz. Yeah, you know, Mixcloud Live is generally used for doing live broadcasts, right? DJ broadcasts, and it's what we do here at Digital DJ Tips. The reason that Lee is glad that he joined Mixcloud Live is he says it makes me prepare a set without just messing around. Listening back to them makes you realise what works and what doesn't. And then, of course, you can archive it on Mixcloud, and you've got a mixtape there as well. So let's pull one. This is a great one from Phil. And in fact, it wasn't on my list. It was on my list, you know. I'm going mad. To listen to yourself was number 5. I don't remember reading that out. Did I do that, people? Number 5, to listen to yourself, to actually hear what you sound like. I think I might have missed that one out. But yeah, to hear what you sound like. It gives you a chance to hear what you sound like. And that's exactly what Phil said. Another Phil. Improvements can only be made if you record and listen back to your mixes. You may think your mix sounds great initially, but listening back will be the proof of the pudding. And I totally agree with you there, Phil. The only person in the world that doesn't hear your DJing the way that everyone else hears it is you, because you're too busy doing it. You've got to record yourself and listen back. DJ Zem, I do a live mix on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixcloud Live every Saturday and Sunday. I've been pushing myself. Good on you. Jess, what's some good sites for intro, radio, drop services for mixes? We've always been impressed with Music Radio Creative. It's a UK company that do idents and stuff, and they're reasonably good value as well. So Music Radio Creative, there's their website there, musicradiocreative.com. Go and have a look at those. They can create DJ drops for you. And I'm told that the UK accent is pretty cool, but it looks like they've got accents from all over the place now as well. And it looks like you can get a drop for $20 or something. Izzy's half price at the moment. Look, poor Izzy. She's knocking them out for £7.85, less than $10. So there we go. Musicradiocreative.com, that was. What's the difference between a mix and a mixtape? There's absolutely no difference. It's just, mixtape is just like, we call them records, even though they're digital files, don't we? Oh, have you heard the new record from whoever? But it's not a record, is it? It's a digital MP3. Same thing. Mixes, mixtapes, same thing. I need this push to get going, says Jonas. Well, I'm glad to get you going, Jonas. DJ Feta, definitely need to get a few mixes out there. Longer sets and short, sharp showcases. So good. Hopefully this will inspire you to do that a bit more. Ray is a fan of the 45-minute mixes as well. So Colin says, I sometimes set up the camera and watch the video back. Yeah, so you can practice your performances as well, can't you? I love it. So Mitch says, is it possible to split my mix when recording in Rekordbox so that people can skip through track by track? No. I mean, you can do that afterwards, but it depends where they're going to be listening. On Mixcloud, you can give them a list of timestamps. So this is a Mixcloud mix of mine. So you see the list of tracks there. These have actually got timestamps on. So when you're playing this mix, the track name will change on the mix as the tracks change. And it's really easy to do. You just upload a list of the tracks and where the mixes happen as a timestamp, like you might see on YouTube videos, and it will switch for you at the right time when people are listening to your mixes. Roger does 80-minute mixes, the size that they have to be to fit on a CD. Oh, they're the days, fixing them on a CD, getting them on a CD, so I love that. I remember painstakingly making mix cassettes in the 80s, says Offshore Logic, by cutting and splicing the tapes. Oh, Offshore Logic, you got my heart. I used to do that as well. Literally cut the tape. I used to have scissors and sellotape. I didn't even have a proper splicing block and the right tape. I literally and then you finish your cut, your splice, and then you record it onto a new tape really quickly because you know the original one's going to break or chew up in the tape player anytime soon. They were the real mixtapes, but that was 40 years ago, people. Wow. How time flies. Mark's just really pleased to see this live. So Harold says, I bought your Pro Mixtape Formula course several years ago. Will I still get access to it? Updated in 2021. You will, Harold. Every single person who's bought our Pro Mixtape Formula course over the last 5 years, 7 years, time does fly, will get the new one when it's released later this month. Pro Mixtape Formula 2, that's its working title, by the way. I don't know what it's going to be called. Yeah, you'll get the new one. So you don't have to do anything. As a lifetime customer of that course, we're going to be true to our promise to you and give you the brand new one. So good reason to dig it out again and have another go, right? So Ian says, in the 90s, I was asked to do some mixtapes for Ministry of Sound. I was playing on vinyl and trying to get my mixes up to the standard of the Ministry CDs. I couldn't do that and I didn't send any off. Little did I know until now who made those CDs. Yes, our very own Steve Canuetto was making those CDs. So hello to Maddie, who's joining us for the very first time here. That's cool. Irish says, look, mixtapes are the only way to communicate your existence as a DJ, which is what I was saying as well. Music by DJ C Sharp says, it's important to do it now in the pandemic, isn't it? And I agree completely. So Sherwin has done 54 mixes in the last year and a half. Well, that is really commendable. And you might wonder, how can you do so many mixes in a year? Well, Sherwin's obviously got a formula. Most people, it's a struggle, isn't it, to make a mix? It's a struggle to get it right. You get to the last transition, it goes wrong. You've got to go back to the beginning and start again. Our Pro Mixtape Formula course teaches you how to avoid all that stuff. So just keep an eye out for it. I'll tell you more about it when it's actually released. It's in a couple of weeks. All I would say is, when we release it, it's going to be at our usual early bird pricing, but only for people on that list. So if you're watching this and you don't get emails from Digital DJ Tips, you're not on the list. Go there and sign up, and then we'll email you to let you know when this course arrives at the early bird pricing. It's strictly for our members. When we tell the public about it, it's going to not be at that price. So it's worth joining us. And it's worth joining us for loads of reasons. But there is the URL, djtips.co/join. I'm going to do one or two more of these, and I'm out of here, people. Thank you for joining us today. Please hit share, follow, like if you're enjoying this. The next one is from The Dude Club, who says, turned out that I DJ very comfortably on Denon's Prime Go. Great little DJ device. It's got everything I might need. I can go places with it and even live stream. The battery and Wi-Fi are mind-blowing. Yep. And you can do mixtapes on it as well. And you just give the tape out. No one knows that you've used a tiny little unit. You could have used a 4-deck Pioneer set up in a club for all they know. So here's just a reminder of the URL for anyone who missed it. This is on Twitch and no doubt on the other platforms from my team. Thank you, team. I can see it going live on the other platforms as well. So wherever you're watching us now, there will be a link somewhere in your comments telling you how to find that. Someone on Facebook says, this has inspired me to record another mixtape, so I'm glad about that. It really is worth doing this stuff. You know, mixtapes are worth doing. Martin's got a good question. How long should a mix be when trying to promote yourself for potential bookings? I think you should do a greatest hits edit. So you do the full mixtape, and then you do a mix, which is an edit of just the transitions that you've done. Like a 5-minute mix with 10 or 15 transitions on it. Now in our course, Pro Mixtape Formula, we do teach how to do that. But then the person who you've given the mix to can listen to the 5-minute transitions mix and say, I like the sound of this DJ, and then they might listen on to the whole mix then. But if they don't, you might get a booking on the strength of that. Promoters don't listen to full mixes. They haven't got time. Gregor says, great content as always. I've been planning my latest mixtape for a few days. I'm hoping to record it tomorrow. Good on you. We're all rooting for you there. And my final one, and there's loads and loads of people. There's loads and loads of people who are asking things and commenting here. And thank you to everyone who's joined in. But I gotta go. This is my final one. Then it's from Daryl, who says, "Hi Phil, I started techno sets on YouTube back in November, but I'm struggling for subscribers. I've tried tags and descriptions, but nothing is helping so far. Any advice?" Yep. You don't try and get subscribers on the platform that you're doing your mixing on. Go elsewhere. You know, you're on other platforms. You've got friends. You've got people who you go out clubbing with. You could join up to the Digital DJ Tips Global DJ Network and Student Hub and start chatting mixtapes with people there and helping them out. And then when you've got a friendship going, tell them about yours. You've got to look beyond the platforms you're on in order to find people to listen to your stuff. And you've got to find your true fans. You know, yes, there'll probably be 1,000 people out there in the world who would love to listen to your mix and would be real fans and would look forward to everything you do. But you've got to find those 1,000 people. So find one of them. Find one person who's a true fan and just look after them like they're the only fan you've got in the world. Well, they are. And then that person will help do your job for you. Assemble a little army of people who tell the world how good you are. Don't just go randomly looking for audiences when you don't know any of them. Start right close to the people who are your biggest fans and the people who really love what you're doing, and step out one person at a time. And if everyone you find steps out one person at a time, your fan base will grow. It's an organic way of growing, but it's going to give you a real fan base. You know, Digital DJ Tips, we were talking about this today because we're just about to, fingers crossed, sign a really big deal for a new course with a household DJ, a household name DJ. And I was talking to Steve about this today, and I was saying, I remember 11 years ago, sitting in my little rented flat with my iMac that I'd bought secondhand and putting content on this website I just started called Digital DJ Tips and trying to sell $50 adverts. And I remember the first advert I sold was to a guy in New Zealand who funnily enough, he did a mixtape editing piece of software. I got $50. I felt like the world was at my feet. And now we're at a position where we are hopefully going to be bringing you sometime later this year, the kind of DJ course, maybe the kind of household DJ that I would never have ever imagined working with 11 years ago. We've done that by moving a fan at a time out until we had enough fans to have this kind of momentum going. And it was a slow process. It's taken 11 years to get this far, but it's a real process and it's hard to take that away from us now, right? So be in it for the long run, Daryl. Try and find your real fans and try and make them very happy. Find out what they want, do more of what they want, and they'll tell other people and they'll tell other people, and your fan base will grow organically. So you say you started in November. That was only 3 months ago. It's not long enough. Keep at it. I'll give you another example. Over on my Mixcloud, my mixes that I was telling you about. Now, Mixcloud is quite a new platform for me. I don't do very much on Mixcloud. I only started in lockdown. I've got 700 followers. That's not very many followers. Some people would say. I love these people. I keep a close eye out for these people and I try and do what they want, and my mixes are slowly getting more and more listens because of it. But I'm no big superstar on Mixcloud. I've been doing it a year. I think it's going to take 4 or 5 years before that number is, I don't know, at 10,000 and each of my mixes are getting listened to 1,000 times or whatever. It's not something you can rush. So there's an example a bit closer. Right, I said I was going to stop there with Daryl's comment, and I am. Listen, people, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Today we've talked about 12 reasons why you should make mixtapes, and I'll do 2. I'm looking at the reflection, 2 of those. 12 reasons. Isn't that weird? I know that's my left hand, but my right hand, but as soon as I'm looking at the reflection, my eyes say that's your left hand. Try it in a mirror. Try in a mirror, put your hands like that, and in a mirror say, right, left hand, right hand. I bet it confuses you. It confuses me anyway. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. This has been Tuesday Tips Live. We're here every week. Remember, free copy of the book. Just join there, and you'll also get notified when the course is live. Pro Mixtape Formula 2, working title, is live. That's the only way you will and get that discount. So So I'm back on Thursday. So all your any questions DJ stuff, join me at the time you joined me today, but on Thursday. If you're watching the replay, you should have been here at the beginning. Click the subscribe button and then we can let you know when we do these things. It works on Facebook and Twitch as well. So finally, get good, get out there if you can, make the moments, people. And I'll see you on Thursday. Till then, bye-bye.